Mitch, what about Hammaker this year? I feel like, look, I knew that he was good. I knew, he won a race a few years ago, Dallas 21, so we knew he could do it. But I don't think I saw quite the step he made this year in Supercross. Did that surprise you at all, or have you seen that? Have you seen the flashes?
Well, I believe a lot of that was his decision. Like he really wanted to break from just being out here riding the California tracks. And he had the opportunity to go down and ride with the Lawrence brothers down there with them. And he didn't want to miss that opportunity. And he took that this year. And like the whole group down there, Darren and the boys and everybody they got down there, they work really hard. And even though they're on Kawasaki's, they treat them really well. And I think it showed in his riding and his technique a little bit.
I agree.
And I believe if he wouldn't have had a little bit of a shoulder problem, he carried that the whole outdoor series.
Mm-hmm.
So it was taped up, and it's finally MRIs were done before this week, and it's got to get done. We're like, we just got to do it to be 100%. But he can win a title. He should have had a title this year.
Yeah,
so
he's great.
He's improved a lot, and he's got really good raw speed. We just need him to be 100% where we can finish the motos that he's leading.
Yeah.
I got a question, Mitch. With Seth going to Florida, how against it were you? Were you a little gun shy at first? Because I believe
100%.
Yeah, because when I was on a couple months ago, we had Seth on, and he said that it was kind of hard to get you to sign off on him going there. But I mean,
it was.
Nowadays you look at it, it's just like, oh, it was a good move. Does that kind of help you open up for other guys in the future, or is this just like a one specific thing?
No, and honestly, I mean, AC was in Florida a lot too, and my biggest concern with guys being in Florida, I said, I can accept it as long as you have a great practice mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because if you're down there with just some kid you hired for $300 or $200 a week, like to get those phone calls where they're like, I don't know, just cut out. And you're like, oh my God. Like
speaking of great practice mechanics, how do you feel about Jacob's stunts recently?
Well, I think it's pretty funny, and I guess he gets paid a little bit pretty good just to do that stuff just for humor. So like I can't blame him, and he's a great mechanic, and to have him down there, he works with Seth and Drew Adams. That makes me feel comfortable because he's a great mechanic. So like he knows the bike as good as any of our guys. So that doesn't make you so freaked out with them being down there.
So how much did you have to tell Dean, listen, Dean, you can't just hire a vagrant off the street. You have to pay someone, Dean. Like, that must have been a real tough conversation. Maybe,
a lot of, or it came back to Andy. Andy's back.
Oh yeah, Andy's back, right. One of the cheapest guys out there, Dean Wilson. We could agree on that? Who's cheaper, Dino or Anderson? Do we have a vote on that?
That's
Dean. I don't know on that one.
Really?
I gotta say Dean.
I gotta say it. I think I'm flying the Jason flag here.
Jason drove to a race in a Prius?
Oh, and he would sometimes he would land, sometimes he would fly into wherever we're going and just wait until somebody got off the flight to ask him for a ride because he wasn't getting an Uber, he wasn't getting a rental car. I mean, dude, that's next level.
Yeah, that is next level. But talking about California, Mitch, Marchbanks hooked up with Brock and as a coach and / trainer, troll training's helping him as well, and stayed in California. He hates California. He's mentioned that many times, but also all of that program really helped Garrett Marchbanks for sure.
I think it did, and I think a lot of that was him wanting to succeed, of course. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to see him do well, and I think he did great. Like outdoors, he was really amazing. Like when you consider that he's so big, and like you guys all know, and AC, you were pretty big, but God, you got great starts, but not as big as him. He's like 190 pounds, and it's like I'm all, buddy, I just don't know if we're going to get that many hole shots. They're like 140, 145. Like you got to grease it, like so. the only way he was going to be successful was be in better shape. And I think for outdoors, he really worked on that. And I think Brock was big to help him, and they get along really well. So for him to be out here and Brock's testing, it made like a perfect little team to be out here, and it really worked good for him.
Yeah. And Garrett's just he's matured just a lot, man, because I remember my last year with you, Mitch, that was Garrett's first year, and I just remember him being super stubborn, didn't want to listen to anything, and he'll admit that now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But just seeing where he's at now seems like super open-minded, receptive. He's really turned the corner.
He even admitted to me, like, oh, man, I did some things when I was a rookie was stupid, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, he's been reflective that way.
Yeah.
Phil,
so
you know
cool.
him well.
Yeah, and Phil, you're good friends with him. And I do think he's really grown up a lot. And I think that's really helped him. And I think, he's just became more of a man, right?
Yeah, and I probably really shouldn't. I don't know how much I should say. I think Garrett does struggle a little bit with anxiety.
Okay.
So I think him going back to Mitch and getting that deal, and the way Supercross did start out, I think he just put so much pressure on himself that he just couldn't get out of his own way. But as soon as he kind of broke through and got on the box, and then it finally just started opening up. He went through some bad stuff with his, because he's with Troll Train.
Yeah.
And Brock's a part of that, but he had his other trainer, Westling, and he got away from that, and he just kind of went on a little downward spiral. And as soon as he started pulling himself back into it, Garrett finally showed what he's capable of. But I do, Mitch, feel, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about his starts. I don't care how big he is at 190. There's no way you can be that bad. That consistently.
He's had
for
a couple,
fuck's sake.
He's had a couple good starts where he's like top 6 or 7, and I'm like, awesome. And then he goes into the first turn, he's down, and then he's right back to dead last. And I'm like, God, this guy cannot catch a break. You're right. He should be. I don't care the size of him, with the correct gate drop and execute the start, he should be in the top 10 all the time.
Yes,
yeah.
I 100% agree. And I yell at Garrett every fucking week. I'm like, dude, it's impossible to be that bad unless you're actually trying to be that fucking bad. And sometimes I wonder that because he's so good at coming through the pack that he uses that like that's his comfort zone.
And Villeman at Yamaha famously told us one time, why do I want to start first when I'm just going to finish 5th? If I go 10th, start 10th, and finish 5th, I come back and you guys tell me good ride.
Yeah.
Villeman told us this.
That's why I was confused on some of those Prado starts this summer, dude. I'm like, what are we doing?
I'm like, this is a factory rider telling us, hey, man, if I come 10th to 5th, you guys say good job.
Yeah. I also was kind of curious, Garrett's deal. And Garrett told me that you pushed for him really hard, and he said that you were even willing to put up some of your own money to fund him.
Mitch told me that. Yeah.
Yes, which I very, very much appreciate because I feel like he did do very well for you, and he actually really respected when you told him that. He's just like, dude, it makes me want to dig that much harder for him.
Right.
For Mitch to actually say that he wants that.
We basically, at one point, Cowie said you could only have 4 guys, and I really wanted to keep Garrett because he was doing so well outdoors, and it was like, nope. And then it got to the point where I had called Bob Walker and I spoke to KTM and recommended him. You got to hire this guy. And then I was supposed to talk to the Triumph guys and this and that. And then finally we talked to Dan and I said, I'll just pay his salary. How about that? He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. I said, he deserves it. Like, he's done well. And I said, I'll just pay his salary. Oh, God. So I got to go back in there again, Come on. And actually, Dan did a really good job and was able to speak to them and talk to them about it. And then they said, yeah, he deserves it. So we were able to keep him.
Yeah, it was awesome to do that, for sure. Is there any chance, Mitch, and this is kind of just a rumor mill, is there any chance one of your guys goes to the second Cowie 450 spot?
Well,
we lose you.
Well,
hello.
Well, that's been hinted around the industry.
Yep.
But that's not the current plan. The plan is for him to ride the 250 class, and we'll just see what happens. And it would be. I actually had said that to Bob, and like, I really would like to see him get a shot at a 450 because of his size.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he could be in top shape, I think he could be a decent runner in the 450 class if he could prove that he wouldn't get tired. Because even when I watch the 450 motos, they're coming off their good laps. They're going down. So if you could get a guy that could start up there, and if he could hold that lap time, I think you could be a player. So like I would really like to see Garrett get a shot at a 450. I've been open about that.
Yeah.
But we just have to see what happens. And you know.
Yeah, his 450 ride at club that summer was great.
Yeah,
like,
23.
He was solid,
Super
dude.
good.
SMX too. He's like 6th in SMX.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Obviously, now that we're talking business on this show.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Yeah,
talk business.
Mitch, I'm not his agent by any means,
Not yet.
Garrett is
Not
my.
yet, yeah.
No, never. Garrett is my little brother. Like, I have a problem with him going to the 450 class because if he is a 4 to 8 guy, you're a badass dude. Okay,
Yeah.
is he going to be 1, 2, and 3? It'd be really hard, But I do think he'd be 4 to 8, 4 to 6, and he only gets a 1-year shot. And then
I know that is tough. Right?
Yeah, that's a tough thing. And then Kitchen wins a Supercross title, and that outweighs Garrett's 4 through 8s that he just did all through Supercross.
Yeah,
and then
I get it.
It's a Joey Savacci, Adam Cincerillo.
Exactly.
Come on!
No, I'm just saying.
Man.
And I told
No,
Garrett.
we're past that.
I told Garrett.
We are past that.
I told Garrett, you do not do that unless you for sure in
Yeah.
27 are okay.
Right.
I just
Right.
want him to be protected with that side of things. But I do think now that he is comfortable with Mitch and the team and Brock and everything, I think he is a good 250 guy in
Right.
Supercross.
Yeah.
And I think he has a shot at that title, So
and
it's
I
not-
think we talked about that, and I feel like Supercross would be, even if you look at last year at the end of the season, like he was qualifying first or second and would bump Deegan off the thing, and then I think Bomer beat him one time. Like he was there,
Yeah.
and I feel like Supercross is easier because we have more of a flat graded start, and it's not ripped.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get down there if we're good. And with that, if he can do all the jumps, yes, I think that is a easier solution to win Supercross than outdoor for him. And that's what we kind of expect. And I think he can be a player. He was really good last year at the end.
And I agree with you, Phil. There was times, I remember one day specifically when he was only 16. We rode Glen Helen Top Track. It's where we ride when it rains in Southern California. And I felt amazing. I was like, one of the best years of my life riding wise. And the homie was like 2 seconds a lap faster than me. And I'm like, I straight up don't have it. So it makes me think that we still haven't seen everything put together for him.
It's in
yet,
there.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm telling you, it's there.
AC won San Diego in that huge mud race. And Garrett was second. Garrett was second and pulled his goggles off the first lap.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
I'm like, oh my God.
You remember that race? The Limegate.
Yeah, Limegate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. Adam, how obviously you won a national championship, and that's something that's just amazing. But you're also on Mitch's door. I've always thought, because I'm a dorky fan of moto from forever, right? And I know the sport inside and out as far as the legacy of these riders. And I walk by Mitch's door and I just look at it, right? You're on there, you're on the door.
Yeah, I mean that's what I grew up dreaming of.
Right.
Like genuinely, that's what I wanted. And just like what the story you just heard about Mitch willing to go out of his own pocket, to keep Garrett. I mean that's how Mitch is behind the scenes with his guys, and it makes you want to run through a brick wall to put another plate on the door.
Yeah.
It's fun to ride for someone that you really feel like it's not just transactional. Because there's a lot of that.
Right.
There's a lot of that, especially at the next level, in the 450 class.
Yeah.
So, I really appreciated
I think it'd be cool to be on that
really
door.
cool.
I think it'd be cool to be on that door,
Who's on the front now? McAdoo? He's on the CM.
And it's kind of funny, we had, years later, God, who was it? I think it was Pichon came over to the U.S. with his son, Zach, who's now a world enduro guy, right?
Yep.
But when he was young, he shows him, he goes, see my name? See right there? And, the kids are like, really? That's you? you're right by those guys? Because I don't think they get it that Dad was kind of a player too, but at a young age, that's Dad.
Yeah.
They don't get it, so it is fun for those guys to be able to see that. And it's something that we're really proud of. And like all the guys that have rode for me, the majority, 90%, I'm super stoked on.
Yeah.
They've always give it 100%. But if you win, it is really something special to me.
Yeah.
Mitch, are you getting softer in your old age now? Like, are you?
I think if you ask like Jeremy or Rhino and those guys in the beginning, Nathan Ramsey, I was really hard on, and I just gave up, and he wound up winning, and I'm like, all right, maybe you changed me, and I'm like, it's just, I kind of did it one way, and then I think I got a little bit older, and I realized that it wasn't how like all this explosive talk to them. It was just like, before I say it, just shut up and try to say it better. Right? Because
Adam's nodding here. Adam's nodding.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what? It's fucking, you're an idiot, And I'm like, okay, so back it down and come at him.
Rational.
Okay, what was that? You're kidding me.
That's what I remember when I was a kid, and then when I started turning pro, when you had Townley and RV and those guys, like you were just fucking gnarly, But now I come around like around G and stuff like that, and you're just like,
I mean, this is a man who once said this is a man who once said his entire team running shoes on Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
The entire
Why
team.
not?
You need to use these.
That's what I mean. You just learn. Do you get smarter with old age? Because my old man's the same. He used to be fucking gnarly.
I don't know if I'm any smarter, but it's just like I remember Mike Hooker said, the only person that's pissed is you. And I'm like, I know, but like he's like, they're not gonna, if they don't want it, they're not gonna win. Like you wanting it isn't enough. And I'm like, God, are you fucking kidding? They gotta see it. Like, and he's like, well, you're mad, but they're fine. So like you gotta chill out a little bit. Like, and I remember like there was just times where I'm like just explosive, and I'm like, nothing. Like it doesn't matter. So I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna back it down. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna explain it. Now listen, and I remember telling a couple of them, you have to do this rhythm or you will not win. I don't know. It's pretty sketchy. And I said, well, then you're not winning. And I said, because you got to do it because they're doing it. And if they did it, you can do it. And if you don't do it, I don't want to hear about how fast you are everywhere on the track because you're not going to fucking win. So, like, you got to do it. Like, I'm telling you, we got videotape. Watch it. Oh, yeah, they did do it, didn't they? And I'm like, oh, my God, yes, they did. So, like, I just think I just can't get that revved up or my head will explode.
Adam, what's the maddest you saw Mitch at? Either yourself or another rider, or what was the...
I remember, the maddest I think Mitch was ever at me, or at least what stands out, Mammoth. Oh. Mammoth 2012. It was my last year on mini bikes.
Not even a pro race.
No, it was my last year on mini bikes, and I'd already been with PC 3 years at that point. I'd already signed a pro deal and everything. But I was at Mammoth. They sent me a 250 that summer, and that's all I rode, 250, all I rode. And then I came to Mammoth, got back on and I just didn't have enough time on it, got my ass kicked. Mm-hmm. And
and he didn't say that the year before he won every single moto, whole shot at every moto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go back, he couldn't get a start to save his life. So then he'd be like seventh, and then he would ride like Charles Manson going through the pack, and then fall over.
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What's this kid doing? That was the most scared I ever was. But he was, because I grew up with that same, what you said, Phil. It's like, Mitch is this gnarly, but he was always, you were always very fair with me, Mitch.
And we told him after that race, I remember I talked to him and his dad, and I said, all right, so we got to go back. You got to ride that bike for Loretta's. You got a little bit of time to get ready. It's got to be all on this thing. Put that thing away. And then I think at that point he had Eldon and a lot of people in his corner. And I said, all right, so there's a pyramid of success. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the pyramid.
Yep. The pyramid.
Oh, God, I remember the pyramid.
Chuck Wooden. So, you just go, John Wooden.
John Wooden, right. Yeah.
So you just go, pyramid of success. And I'm like, so at the top of that is you. And your dad can be second, I can be third, everybody else is below that. But it's got to be, you got to be selfish, and it's all about you. So we have to do everything to get this done. And I said, too much bullshit on the side and all this stuff. And I said, Pyramid, like, let's just fix this. And he did. At Loretta's, he laid it down, killed it. So, like, he did a miraculous turnaround within about a month and a half and killed it. So, like, I've seen him do amazing things. So, like, it always, I'm like, that's the guy. We got to have this guy. Like, and he's proven it over and over. So, like, it made it easy to work with him.
Good times.
Yeah. The running shoes, funny story. You thought everyone should get in better shape. So Mitch sends his whole team running shoes. Everyone, Nick burns his. He's so pissed. Nick Way burns his
Come on.
shoes. Yes.
No way.
Ramsey is like, dude, that's sweet. New shoes. Awesome. Thanks, man. No idea, like, kind of the meaning behind it. Just thought you sent them shoes. He was just stoked, Mitch.
And I think Jeff Stanton called me and said, you sent all your riders running shoes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you demoralized him. And I said, demoralized? I said, you should be me sitting in the mule when they're fading. That's demoralizing. And I'm like, we got to get in shape.
We got to get some shoes. Here you guys go. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story. Mitch, your 2026 team, it's kind of filled up. We're done there. But I am wondering, is there a room for Enzo Timmerman at all? Obviously, he's going to stay SMX next and all of that, and injuries happen. But do you see a path for Enzo with you in pros, or is it wait and see? Like, what exactly, what's his status?
I think he's got to ride futures, and then if we had an injury, potentially we could let him fill in for a guy, so we have another guy. Because he was great at Loretta's. I still think, like, when you look at it, you'd have to be fair and say he still needs to be better, but he's got a lot of upside to him also.
Okay.
Mitch, I'm going to bring it down to the amateur level. This year was the first time there wasn't a Cowie 60 and a Cowie 85 at Loretta's. I haven't, never in my life.
How do you know that, Phil?
Anyway, because I'm in tune with
amateur
racing,
clearly.
And
wow.
I know what goes on.
Jeez.
Have you ever thought in your life, or since you've owned Pro Circuit, that there would never be a Cowie mini cycle at Loretta's?
I'd have to say no. Like, when I first started Pro Circuit, I did Honda's amateur support guys. I did big bikes. I didn't do mini bikes at first, and then Honda asked me if I'd build their mini bikes, and I said sure. And I remember going to Ponca City was the first big race, and there was like, oh God, there was Scott Brown, Kyle Lewis, Jimmy Button, Sean Kalos, and there wasn't very many. And Team Green probably had like 50 guys. I'm like, oh my God. And they dominated the market, but they were super into mini bikes. And then the bike has got older, but they do have a new commitment to, like, I guess, restructuring the two strokes, which is really positive, I think. And I'm not sure of what levels everything's going to be at, but hopefully within the next year or so, they can revamp that and kind of get it back on track, because they really need that. That was, I mean, like, you look at KTM's mini bike program, and really Kawasaki gave them the roadmap how to do that.
Yeah, when I was at KTM in 2000, Kelly Smith won the first national for KTM ever, tuned by me, Mitch, by the way. I was sort of responsible for the path they're on now, but no, but honestly, they were doing 60s and 50s back then, or 50s or whatever. And I had the KTM USA guys, like, I don't think it was Selvaraj, it was somebody important. It's like, we're going to make our mini bikes amazing, and they're going to transfer up. Like, Osborne was back then, right? Osborne was one of the mini riders. Their whole plan was like, get them on KTMs on the little bikes, and they'll keep riding them. And and that's what they wanted to do back then. This was 25 years ago, you know? So, yeah, they make great mini bikes.
And they did a good job of it. Like, you got to applaud them for that. They were committed to it for a long time, and they've done a good job.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird that you just see KTMs and Cobras, and I don't see any
Think about
KX65s.
this guy on a KX80,
it's
right?
just like, you know, and I get there was one kid that should have been there that was hurt, but it was just like, to me, that was absolutely mind-blowing. Like, I didn't understand where that market went, you know? It had been so dominant, so.
You got to figure the sales would be there, because amateur racing's huge still. Like, if they did it, if they built a good
but at
one.
that level, it's just like, you can't go to the race, you know, without your, if the Cobra 65 is better than the Cowie, every parent that's buying a bike is just going to buy a Cobra or KTM. So it's just that, it's a tough thing to.
Before we let you go, Mitch, brought to you by Renegade Race Fuels, on a Super Mini, peak Stu or peak Adam Cianciarulo? Who's winning a race if we drop a gate on Super Minis?
Dude, I don't know. Like, Stu was amazing and AC was amazing. And actually, Ricky was amazing on mini bikes. And
true.
so was RV. Like, all those guys were in their eras. And, like, most of the guys I mentioned barely lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then what was amazing was it seemed easy to pick the right guy, right? Because you just pick the guy who was winning the mini bike class.
Yeah.
They grew up and you just hired that guy. And, like, they just kept winning. And then nowadays you sort of try that. And then I don't know if from the mini bikes to the 125s to the 250F, if it's just so different.
Yeah.
But it seems like we lose more of those guys than we used to lose. Because it seems like, I mean, I swear that was the way you did it. Like, they had a guy that was amazing. You just hired him. He just came through the pack, and he was your guy.
He never stopped winning. Right. He just never stopped.
Yeah, like it seems simple. And I do think right now that the European amateur program is better than our program over here. They learn to ride better tracks and longer motos, so they have a little bit of an advantage. And we need to fix that over here somehow.
Yeah.
I will say, slept-on Super Mini rider didn't win as much. Zach Bell.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Zach Bell ride Super Mini faster than I've ever seen anyone else ride.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
I have one more.
Garrett.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I had one more personal question for Mitch.
Okay. Oh, you want your airbox still or?
No. How much longer do you keep doing it? Our sport has a bunch of older guys that have built our sport. Brian Fleck at Dunlap, Bobby Reagan, Mitch Payton.
Thank you, Phil, too, for me.
Roger.
Thank you for that.
What?
Steve Mathis.
Older guy building the sport.
No, not you.
Okay.
Mitch, do you feel okay with, the successors in our sport that are, with what you do with your race team? Do you feel okay? Obviously you can't keep doing it forever. I'm sure you have a plan in place.
I think there's great guys coming up. The problem that I have more so with that, because I used to kind of, people would ask me, I think you didn't talk to me, like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just keep doing it. And I'm like, I guess I do it as long as Roger. But goddamn, Roger's like 82, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it to 82. Like, he's the gnarliest guy I've ever met. Like, I don't know how he's just so committed and so driven, and he just loves it. But my problem is I don't have the base to fill back in like we used to. Like, the guys that I had in the beginning, like Mike Hooker, Jimmy Perry, and Bones, and me, and we had Buddy and a bunch of these guys, like, they were excited to work, right? It's hard to find young kids that really want to work on bikes and be a mechanic or go to the races. And it's like, I worry about the base more than, because the guys that will take over the team have years of experience and they're older and they can do it. Like, they're as good as I am. So, like, it doesn't matter, right? So that's fine. But, like, where do you get the bottom feeders? Like, we got to fill that up again, like, because those guys need to learn and graduate up, because you're getting factory mechanics that want to come off the road because they got a family, they're tired of traveling, and then who fills those spots? So, like, NASCAR's stealing them from us too. Like, they need youth, so they're taking them from here, and, like, it just I feel like that's difficult.
Tony Archer, Shanty, a couple of guys that went over to the NASCAR guy side of things. Yeah,
that's a valid point.
That's a great point.
Mitch, what's the latest with my ideas for you to grow Pro Circuit? What's the latest there? Anything rolling? We got anything rolling?
Well, we sell the different colored end caps. You can order them. And
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So we do that.
All right.
One-off cylinders that I'm going to sign.
That's you. Hey, you have to admit that got so much traction for you.
I've had a lot of people ask me,
Did
you do it? And I'm like, I do cylinders all the time. I'm not signing them. Like,
No,
Like-
Phil, this was my idea. Like, you can get a Pro Circuit cylinder, no problem. We'll get you a cylinder, all the ports you need, all the specs you need. But if you want a Mitch Payton cylinder, you pay a little extra, and he will do it. Mitch Payton ported 2-stroke cylinder.
Yeah, I agree with it.
How many vet guys would just
Oh.
take all my money?
They 100%.
A little MP on the intake or a little
No
MP
budget.
somewhere, you know?
Yep.
Adam? Money idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have Adam's cylinder sitting behind me back there. I got a Millsaps 105, and I got ACs. It says LL Goodwin.
Good one.
Loretto is good one.
Those guys.
Yeah,
You guys
because it
used
was
to.
like your start, and then when they didn't have good plating,
Uh-huh.
like the piston stuck out of the head and it detonated and it would tear up the plating. So it got to where I told Brett Mountain, I said, if I'm not here and you don't know, just change it. Yeah, but like they were going to Loretta's, and I'm like, I got 8 cylinders, you got 2 engines, 8 heads, and if you question it, don't even ask me, just change it.
Just
So
do
like,
it, yeah.
I think we changed 6 cylinders that year.
Yeah,
Damn.
every moto, dude.
How about AC? You've been in Mitch's office as much as I have, and I go down there, I hang out, I walk in, and he's porting cylinders.
Oh yeah.
Like he's got, and I'm like, what are you doing? And Mitch will give you the same answer. I like this. I like doing this.
It is fun, actually.
I know, and that's where I came up with my idea. Can you imagine Mitch Payton doing your cylinder? Yep.
And that's why Pro Circuit is what it is right there.
And we'll leave you with this, Mitch. If you want any more ideas, by the way, you got my number. But what about, I got a new 26 Yamaha. You told me I could get an entire system if I made Loretta's. So
Yep.
I didn't make Loretta's. Just got the
Well, I'll
slip.
get you one. But did you know the new 26 is a lot quieter?
I did. I wrote it already. Yeah, it is quieter.
It's a lot quieter.
I need to dump that muffler on the back and get a whole tie system.
You need something that's a flame-throwing dragster.
I mean, something.
He never even reaches 75% throttle.
78. I made.
Let's give him a fire-breathing fucking dragon. You serious?
I'm glad Mitch believes in me.
How about just something that sounds good?
Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah,
He told me one time he could not go any faster up Mount St. Helen at Glen Helen.
that's true.
And I'm looking at him, watch him go up this fucking hill, Mitch, and it's like watching paint dry.
Stop it, dude. I was wide open.
Come on.
I swear to God.
I will say the hot.
You could
Thought you
bring
were
up
elite.
Hey, you could bring up the time that I think it was you down on the line. Do you remember the Pat?
Yeah,
Morris?
yeah. You
So-
thought,
It was.
Reedy's,
Go ahead and tell
Yeah,
him.
Reedy's bike had a problem on the line for the main event in 05. It was
After the parade lap.
after the parade lap, the cylinder nut came loose on the power valve side. So on a Yamaha, you got to take the pipe off and everything. And I'm down there helping Dave Dye. I think it was Dave. I don't think it was Rookie. Maybe it was Rookie.
I think it was Dave Dye.
Maybe it was Dave. So the whole team jumps in, right, to like try to figure out this problem on Chad's bike. It was Tampa, Orlando. And I'm down in there, and the camera's right on me, and they got the back of my head and everything. And Mitch, the next day or the next race, Mitch is like, I thought Pat Meares, the truck driver, was down there. I thought you were Pat.
No, it was Jimmy was
Oh,
the team manager, and I
yeah.
texted him. I said, "Why is the truck driver down there helping him with the bike?"
No
And-
way.
Yeah, and he laughed his ass off, and he's like, "That was massive." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I said, "I know, but it was funny."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. So I'll
Brutal.
take that entire system and then, run Pro Circuit.
Color end cap.
I want a red end cap because I got a red white one.
Red plate?
Really?
Yeah.
Red plate. You're running it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, do you make a red end cap for a Yamaha? Or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, we make a red, green, and a blue, so you can switch them on anything.
Oh, I thought you just made them to like, hey, this is a Cowie one, so it's green type deal. But no, I could put a red one on.
I can put a green one on there.
Nope. No, I need it. I'm not Christmas colors. I need red.
Color of money.
Yeah, then you go red gloves, red plate, red
Yeah.
goggles.
Right.
Yeah,
Boom.
cocky.
Yeah. There we go.
Super cocky.
All right, Mitch. Thank you for the time as always. Great to talk to you. Love interviewing you. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Are you going to Destinations? Any reason for you to go?
I don't think so. There was a rumor that we might have to bring our truck.
Mm-hmm.
That was up to Kawasaki, and I just said, well, if you pay for the fuel and stuff, we could go, but I don't think they need it. So like, I'm not going to spend the money myself to go there. And like, I'd love to be involved, but I'm not going to go there to just stand behind the fence and watch. So I'll use the weekend as a weekend off.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you deserve it.